Hey, I want to go over a concept from eXp Realty that confused a lot of people. A lot of people also hear about it and they're not really certain what to make out of it. So anyways, I'm going to go through one of the brochures that eXp Realty has created, and that's going to just help explain it a bit more to you. And if you have any questions, of course, reach out. This is one of the first times I've used the software platform, so bear with me. I'm actually doing this a second time because I shared my screen and the share part was too tiny. So I'm trying this again. So bear with me. I hope you are not watching this a second time. If you are, it's probably going to be a little bit more concise. You know how videos are. The more times you go through it, the first one's a little more babble than being on point sometimes, especially when you're using new software and talking about a little bit more complicated items. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share my screen, and what I'm going to be focusing on is, it looks like the last one may have, okay. Excellent. It looks like we have it going really well here. So we're going over the revenue share plan. And many eXp realtors actually have come from Keller Williams. And the reason why is they have profit share at Keller Williams. So this is a concept that is easy to understand for them. Other agents may not get it as much and may think, okay, that sounds great, but I just really don't know. First thing, I do believe, and I would say, I wouldn't come to eXp Realty just because the revenue share program. A lot of people will highlight that and the stock purchase plan, where you can actually put 5% of each closing commission towards company stock at a 20% discount. So you're buying stock at 80% of its value, and you actually could turn around and resell it. I'm in that plan. Here's one aspect, just to be as transparent as possible. I do not know if the revenue share, the calculations we're going to do would go off of that 75% that's left after buying company stock, or if it's 80%, whether I elected to get the company stock or not. So I believe it's the full 80%, but again, some of these numbers could be off by dollars. Not really a big issue when you're just getting that benefit, but that's something, if it's really important, we can dig into the details. The reason this has been created is, basically the brokerages are turning more into, let's reward the agents because they're the one who's bringing in the profits. At the end of the day, the agents have to sell houses. With them selling houses, the company gets a split, the agent gets a split. Both sides need to feel happy about that. Or if it's one-sided, either the company's going to go out of business or the agents are going to go out of business if the company's getting too much. So it has to be this balancing act. With eXp Realty becoming a cloud-based brokerage, they don't have all these franchises. So all of these brick and mortar buildings are no longer draining, on the expense column. So that leaves more money where they're investing in technology and giving back to the agents. So I think the revenue share plan is exceptional because as a realtor, when I close on a property, I know the commission I'm going to be receiving. It's going to be, okay, either I'm getting 80% of that or 75% if I elect to get company stock, minus some extra expenses, which is like a broker fee, and there's an E&O fee. So that comes up to somewhere in that probably $60 to $80 range. I don't have those numbers in front of me. It's not a big deciding factor for me. So I should know them, but I don't know those numbers offhand. So I don't want to give you the wrong numbers. So anyways, I'm going to break down an example of one of my last closings because I talked to my sponsor today and he pretty much confirmed what it was at. So I just wanted to share that with people. So let's go over this document real quick. And since I'm sharing my screen, I cannot see any comments right now. So if you're watching this live on YouTube and you have a comment, please put it in there. Since I'm trying this software out, I want to know how to interact with people on YouTube Live. But if it takes a second for me to get back to you, I'm going to be going back to that screen after we go through this document. So it may be 5-10 minutes before I respond. I'm not ignoring you as much as I'm focusing on the main details for everybody. Okay, so the revenue share program, what we can say here is it's broken down into different tiers. So if I introduce someone to eXp Realty and they close on a transaction, I get paid 3.5% of their adjusted gross income when they get paid their split. Okay, so here's the example of the way it worked with my sponsor. Now, the numbers are going to be a little different on this because, again, situations. So what it was we closed on the property at $317,000. Okay. So, typically you multiply it times, if you're doing the 3% times, let's say the 80%. In this case, it was an honor to work with this woman. She's a widow, and her husband was a firefighter who was a responder in the 911 event, and he actually passed away because of all the smoke inhalation. It created cancer, and unfortunately he passed. So she had money, received money, but it's near the end. We helped her sell her house to downsize. So I felt really good about that transaction. So the reason it's a little different here is I reduced my commission a bit at the beginning so that I could also match that reduction on the buyer's agent. And it didn't stop the showings. We were getting 6 showings a day on the weekends. This house was exploding. And we got a full price offer on it. We did have to pay closing costs and some repairs. But at the end of the day, I felt really good of helping this client out. But so I'm going to share with you, since it was a $317,000, but I reduced my side commission from 3% to $275. That would mean right there the commission's $8,717. Now I believe my sponsor, they would calculate this off the 80%. I'm going to go 75% just in case they do it if on the 75% if that agent elects company stock. I hope that makes sense. So let's say now this calculation, 3.5%, is going to be multiplied off the $6,538. And that was, okay, I can already tell you we're off a bit because I actually got a check for $6,564. So you know what? Let's go backwards. Since I got a check for $6,564, let's just do the calculations off that. So I'm going to multiply that times 3.5%. So my sponsor got paid $229.74 on that transaction. And again, that's not coming out of my pocket. That's coming out of the 20% I'm giving eXp Realty. So that's not bad, guys. So if you right there, the monthly expenses to be an eXp agent for the technology and all the training, I think is $85 a month. So that paid 3 months. That's almost 3 months of his expenses because of one of my transactions. And I had 2 transactions last week. So that paid for at least 4 months of his expenses. So great situation there. Now let's give you a different example. Let's say, and I hate that I cleared out my calculator. Got to use good calculators, right? So let's go back to the $6,564 commission I received, which again, I believe he's making more than this because that's company stock. That was deducted before I got that check. It's times 3.8%. Now, if you notice, this is higher than tier 1. And there's a reason for that. So at that point, it's $249. So close to $250 he received on revenue share for cheering me on. He's a great guy. So I want him to earn that money. He's going to help me build my network, which is going to help him. And I'll show you why. So the second tier is 3.8%. The reason it was designed this way is you're supposed to be helping the people you introduce to eXp Realty. You're not supposed to introduce them and say, good luck. You're supposed to say, how can I help you grow? Right? So since I like my upline, if he basically is getting 3.5% and that's his first line, he can put people underneath me, now get 3.8%. I actually would then get 3.5%. And both him and myself can help this agent grow. Because right now I'm a mentor, he's a mentor too, and we are actually in a program where we can take on mentees. And that's a whole different program and a whole different way to get compensated. And it's a great fit for both the mentor and the mentee. So anyways, he would have gotten paid more in that. But now there is, we'll call it the catch, right? This is what a lot of people don't know, but it was designed very, very well, because I was afraid eXp would give away so much of this. I was like, how can they even exist? If you're going to take only 20% of a split and give half of it back out, how are you doing that? Well, the way this works is there's a qualification. So I would need 5 agents in my first line that I introduced, then I qualify for tier 2. So in that first example, if my upline, if I closed, let's say there was one agent beneath him and they were the ones who introduced me to eXp, and then my current upline, if he was 2 up and only had, say, 2 people in his downline, he would not get the 3.8%. But if he had 5 agents in that first line, he would get this 3.8%. So I hope that makes sense. So that helps you understand it's not automatic for you to receive these. So if you brought in a mega team that had, say, a brokerage that has 40 agents, well, okay, that first person you introduce is your tier 1. You have to get 5 other people before you get all the people that he brought in, right? So you can see it's designed for you to grow and bring in more people. But once you've done that, you need to go to the next people and say, I brought you in. How do I help you bring more people to the company? How do I help you be more successful? How do I help you help others be more successful? So I just really love that about this program. But I hope hearing some actual numbers helps you as far as understanding it's more guaranteed, because this 3.5% isn't going to be changing. The 80% of the commission that the agents receive will not be changing. So we don't have to worry about the expenses eXp spending, because they don't factor it in. They're basically saying money comes in, it gets split out to everybody. Not money comes in, we give it to the franchisees and they take out their expenses and then they can disperse it. So I think that was a modification in the system. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, I hope that helped. Again, if you want that document, just email me. I'm happy to send it. I hope I explained it well. At least it was an introduction, if nothing else. So just give me a shout if you need anything. If you're curious about joining eXp Realty, what I'd love to do is have probably more of a Zoom call with you, so it's private, and I can just walk you through the back end of, the KV core system, all the marketing documents. That one I shared you is one of those marketing center documents, and they have presentations, they have flyers, they have things for agent attraction. They have some very professional content that you get as part of that monthly expense of around $75, $80, $85. And again, all these numbers I can get solidified for you if it's your deciding factors. I hope this helps. What we're going to do is I'm going to end the broadcast here, see how this came out. Actually, give me a second. I want to see if I see any comments. No comments are showing up. So if you have made a comment, I'm going to respond to you after this video posts. If you leave a comment, if you're watching this video after it's been, posted, just still leave a comment and I can get back to you. If you want this flyer, again, put your email address in the comments or just reach out to me. Let me. So here's my eXp Realty email that I'm posting right now. So we'll see if this shows up in the YouTube comments. I hope you have a great day. If I can help you, let me know. Have a great day. Bye.